Depending upon how good your hearing is and whether you really listen to your car's exhaust note, as it's called in the business, you may or may not realize there's something really different about this BMW X-5. It's diesel.
Diesel technology is coming off a long way.
Why diesel? Why now? Well, if you go back in your time machine to the summer of 2008, you'll remember stories about pain at the pump. Gas prices passed $4 a gallon. It's also when SUVs started to stand for seriously unnecessary vehicle. And that's when diesel started sounding really good again. I say again about diesel because back in the 70s, during what was called the oil shocks in the 70s, we had diesel cars. That was back when phones actually rang and you sound like a broken record meant something. For most of 1973, the average cost of oil was $2.70 a barrel, and gasoline, listen to this, was about 35 cents a gallon. Then we had what was called the Arab oil embargo. That led to the gas crisis and lines at service stations and signs that said, "No gas today." That's when smaller, more fuel-efficient cars started making a dent, so to speak, in Detroit. Now, diesel seemed like a really good idea unless you actually owned one. People used to joke that they could read a book while they were trying to merge onto the freeway. And cold weather could be another problem, but they got comparatively great mileage if you could stand the noise, the smell, and the sluggishness. As gas prices stabilized for a couple of decades, Americans relaxed. Vehicles that were once only seen on safari or the battlefield started showing up in the driveways of the country club set. The glow plugs dimmed on diesel passenger vehicles. But now, Dave Butchko of BMW says diesel has truly turned the corner.
So these engines are very powerful. The vehicles are very responsive, but they're also incredibly clean due to all of the new emission control systems that we have in place on the engines. But the one thing that diesels have always been very, very good at, and that has not changed with these motors, is they are incredibly efficient.
What's really amazing is that this 5,000-pound 2010 BMW X-5 diesel is rated at 19 miles per gallon in the city and 26 on the highway. It has 265 horsepower and 425 pound-feet of torque. Torque is what gets you going from the stoplight. One of the things I really like about the new BMW X5 diesel is the sides of the rear view mirrors. I hate cars with small side view mirrors. These mirrors give you great visibility. Here's something that I find really annoying. I put my briefcase on the passenger seat and it's got my laptop in it, and it sets off the chime for the seatbelt. So now if I want it to stop, I've got to find a way to reach over there and buckle in my briefcase. Another nice improvement on the 2010 X Series is this power liftgate that opens all the way with the push of the remote. You can also adjust how high you want the gate to open, which is a nice touch for people who are tired of hitting the ceiling of their garage. With some options, the X5 diesel came out to about $57,000. You know, if you're kind of worried, well, where am I going to fill up a diesel BMW? Don't worry too much. There are a lot of gas stations that have diesel, and also out on the highway, basically every station has diesel because they have to be able to fill up the trucks. In case you were wondering, the fuel is called diesel because the diesel engine was patented by Rudolf Diesel in Germany in 1892. The first successful diesel engine was actually built in the United States through the financial backing of Adolphus Busch, the brewer of Budweiser. Rudolf Diesel died under mysterious circumstances in 1913 when he vanished overboard from a steamer bound for London. I'm Grant Winter reporting.